Welcome to week 20. In this week's episode, I'll share my top 5 takeaways from Matt Fraser's book Hard Work Pays Off, which he released after his retirement in 2021, and where he claims to share his secret to becoming the fittest man on earth 5 times in a row. It's actually the 4th time I'm reading it, but I believe you learn something new each time. Let's start with a hint for takeaway number 1 by showing this week's PR in the form of 77 kilograms or 170 pounds clean and jerk. It's been a couple of weeks without an increase, so I'm really happy about this, even though the jerk isn't the prettiest. Although a 1 rep max is a lot of fun, the first takeaway is that you shouldn't train at your 1 rep max every session if you're looking to become better at the Olympic lifts. Takeaway number 1 from Hard Work Pays Off is that to become better at Olympic lifting, you should train the Olympic lifts in the range of 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max. You could go a little heavier on the snatch, but usually not above 85%. It is well known that Matt Fraser entered the sport with a decade-long weightlifting career behind him, which of course can explain some of his success. However, he says in the book that he dedicated the first 5 years of that weightlifting career only to focus on technique, getting the perfect starting position, pull from the ground, bar path, etc. To become great at weightlifting, you need both strength and technique. That's why you, in periods, need to dedicate all your training to strength training, even to the exclusion of everything else. Which, if you love CrossFit and the feeling of heavy breathing, sweating and endorphins, can be mentally tough and even boring sometimes. When Matt Fraser trained with the national weightlifting team, they mostly did singles or 2 to 3 reps each set. The snatch volume was twice as high as for the clean and jerk, and he writes that he has probably done 60,000 snatches during his lifetime. When you feel that your Olympic lifts are solid, both strength and technique-wise, practice lifting under fatigue, because that's what CrossFit really is, and that's something totally different. Takeaway number 2 is that you should train your conditioning in different time domains. Matt Fraser used an endurance coach who made him train in 13 different time domains: 180 minutes, 120 minutes, 90 minutes, 60 minutes, 40 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 10 seconds. This is because in any workout, the cardio portion will be somewhere near one of these. For example, in a 20-minute AMRAP, how will you know what pace will result in the highest score? On the machines, you can see wattage, strokes per minute, and calories the entire time. But what if there's wall balls, burpees, and double unders in a workout? Then you need to go by feel. No strategy will make it easy, they are all going to hurt. But if you know how tired you normally feel halfway through a 20-minute workout, then you can rely on muscle memory and know if you've pushed too hard or if it's time to pick up the pace. Matt Fraser also shares his best strategy for 1,000 meter row. Your first 300 meters should be 2 seconds faster than your overall pace. The middle 400 meters should be 2 seconds slower, and then the last 300 meters is an all-out sprint. Takeaway number 3 is that you should learn the strict movements before kipping. Matt Fraser only does kipping movements 2 to 3 weeks before a competition. And during training, especially in the beginning of a CrossFit career, it's better to focus on base level strength. Once you learn the kipping movements, there will be a quick plateau in efficiency. And therefore, strength and muscle endurance is what matters most anyway. Kipping movements in the rig puts a lot of stress on the shoulders, which increases the risk of injury. It's easy to swing more than you're capable of handling, so make sure that you only swing within a range where your elbows are locked out. If your elbows are starting to bend, the swing is out of control. A general good thing is to practice the eccentric phase of the movements to become strong enough to do them strict. For pull-ups and muscle-ups, you can also do them banded. And to build the shoulder strength for handstand push-ups, it's great with wall walks and wall-facing handstand hold. Females in general has less upper body strength than males. And therefore, strict handstand push-ups and strict ring muscle-ups isn't as easy. And the way to get there can seem infinitely long and demotivating. while Matt Fraser, on the other hand, said that he could basically do a ring muscle-up on the first try. But a general guideline for keeping ring muscle-ups is that you should be able to do 1 minute of dead hang, 3 strict pull-ups, and 5 strict dips before you try to master keeping ring muscle-up. Takeaway number 4 is that you should search out for help where you lack knowledge and learn from the best. As I mentioned earlier, Matt Fraser had an endurance coach, but that's not the only one. He also had a specific coach for strength, a sprint coach, a former gymnast to help him with gymnastics, and someone who helped him with swimming technique. Many of the games athletes these days also have a mental coach to help them with mindset and pressure. My favorite example from the book is when Matt Fraser joins a high school track team and trains with them for several months. The takeaway is definitely to be humble and seek out the experts in the specific field, whether it's weightlifting, swimming, or gymnastics, and learn from the best. Takeaway number 5 is that training isn't everything. Recovery, food, and mindset is as important. To become your best, you need to have the same determination with food and sleep as for training. No one is going to take your goals as serious as you, so there will be times when you get questioned. And when that happens, it can be a good thing to have figured out your bigger why. So it's easier to say no to that night out with friends, staying up late and drinking beer. To be a true competitor, you also have to accept that you will always be working the most on the things you like the least. Question yourself, that thing that I hate doing, am I willing to do it every day for a year? You need your expectations to align with the amount of work you're willing to invest. It's okay to train CrossFit because it's fun and beneficial for your health. But if you want to become the best athlete you can, you have to train how others won't. So to summarize the 5 takeaways from Hard Work Pays Off by Matt Fraser, train your snatch and clean and jerks primarily at 70 to 85% of your 1 rep max, and have periods where you focus exclusively on strength gains. Train your conditioning in different time domains so you learn how to pace a workout. Don't forget the strict gymnastic work just because you do the kipping movements in a workout. Reach out for help from those who are the best in the different parts of the sport. Don't compromise when it comes to food and sleep, and be honest with yourself what your goals actually are. I did a quarterfinal workout this week as well, and it was once again test 1 from 2021 with handstand push-ups, 35 pounds or 15 kilograms dumbbells, and double unders. I felt quite tired in my shoulders this day and had to split the strict handstand push-ups more than I'd like, or at least more than I did last time I did the workout. But knowing that I had a time to beat helped me keep the rest between sets quite short. So I did manage to improve my score by 32 reps, which means I almost managed to finish the first round on part 2 of this workout. But I'm still 8 reps from reaching a top 3000 score. So you will be seeing more of this workout onwards. My new score of 273 reps results in an updated worldwide ranking of 3219th. CrossFit is a sport where consistency beats specialization every time. It's your weaknesses that determine your placement at competitions, not your strengths. So keep in mind that consistency is key to all worthwhile things in life, not least when it comes to training. See you next week.